Hi everybody, this is part 2 of how to draw a jungle scene. So since the last video, which you'll find just below this one on the website, feel free to watch it first. I built up my picture a little bit more, okay? I've done a few more layers of vegetation, and I'm going to do a few more now with you. So I've only got limited colours. You might have way more than this. But what I'm doing is I'm using my felt tip pen or my fine liner to add details to differentiate those different colours, right? So you can see over here, I've got my tree trunk here that's brown, and I've got one set of trees here, another plant here, these grasses here, this plant here, and then I've just kind of made this bushy effect here. This is going to cover a big bit of space, all the gaps. It might even be the same plant as this, or this. Or it could be completely different. I might just try and do it like this. Just with these little semicircles, building up the impression there of plants and leaves. Okay. Now remembering that this kind of plant is going to be behind everything you can see, which means I don't want to leave any white. I want to colour this all in, okay? This is going to be green, and it doesn't matter that it's the same sort of green. What I can do is I can press harder or press lighter with the same pencil, and that will make my greens look different. I'll give you an example. Look, I'm pressing lightly here. The same pencil, if I press really hard, you can see the difference there quite clearly. Okay, have a play around with that. Okay, not forgetting those bits there. So I'm building up my green and my green and my green. Then I might choose another sort of plant coming out of here. Maybe this one's going to come up. I'm going to draw my branches first. And maybe this will have small leaves. And this one I'm just almost using lines now. Doesn't need to be precise, it's just giving the impression of the sort of bush it is. Maybe up here a little bit more. Okay, and then once that's done, I can just add little bits of green here, giving the impression of the plants growing there. Okay, so you want to build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up. Okay. Now my tree trunk I've coloured in brown. It does look a little bit boring. So what I'm going to do is add some detail to the bark using my pen. Maybe I'll do some hatching. Maybe I'll do some cross hatching where I cross those lines over. Maybe I'll just do some lines to kind of show the wrinkly old bark. And you can see straight away that regular brown becomes a lot more interesting. Okay, so I'm building it up. This is where you can really enjoy this. You can see how many different sorts of plants have you got. Let's have a count now. How many ones have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Here's an example of a classic mistake here. I've coloured in this green, but I've left this gap by mistake, whereas actually that would also be green, okay? Because we can't see anything here, whereas actually the viewer in real life would be able to see that bush. So build it up, build it up, build it up. If you want to add something as a focal point in the center, that is a great idea. Maybe you could do something hanging from this tree. You know what might look quite cool would be a great big snake, maybe some sort of big boa constrictor. So it could be hanging down here maybe, with his forked tongue looking at you, and maybe wrapping his body around there. That might look quite good. Let's have a little play. So if you planned it in, you wouldn't have to go over the top like me, but I'm just going to give you an idea here. Some sort of big red jungle snake. It's going to be wrapping itself around this tree. Probably over the top of that one, around like that. Now, I'm doing my colouring first. The beauty about this one is, of course, with felt tip pen, I can just go straight over the top, and to an extent, I'll be able to hide my mistakes. Ignore those sirens, guys. That's just St. John's Ambulance. Okay, so my snake's going to come round here. Round like so. Here's my snake. Maybe he's going to have yellow eyes. So I've added a focal point to my picture there. All of a sudden, it's really coming together. Okay, so as I said, I would recommend building up more and more and more and more layers of plants. But you get to a point where you think, where is my horizon going to be? Where is the land going to stop and the sky going to start? Now I'm going to do mine about 2/3 of the way up, and do it here, and above that I'm going to have a blue sky. Okay, so the smaller the amount of the sky you've got, the more vegetation there is for the viewer to look at. And this horizon would probably not be flat, it would probably be full of different bits of vegetation. Okay, keep building up those layers. Keep experimenting with textures. Maybe add a creature, maybe more than one. That would be really, really good. And enjoy it. Thanks, guys.